because we have so much to talk about with our friend John Stars, who's up here now. I just wanted to also add that the same day that Ami's reception will happen is also the day that the African American Heritage Festival happens at Loyola Park. Something like the how manyth in a row? I forgot.
It's okay.
But anyway, it's happening on that same day from noon to 12. From noon to 4.
Okay, good morning and welcome to you, John Stars.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Hi, John.
Thank you, Katie. Hi.
Good morning. Thanks for coming out.
Well, John, you are currently involved in, I think you've been involved with it for many years. I think it's the 24th annual Rhino Fest going on.
That's correct.
And have you been in every one of those?
I have been in every one of those according to Bo.
Wow.
Bo O'Reilly, who is the creative director.
The whole thing. And as for myself, I couldn't tell you for sure. I do, some memory pieces. I've been writing them for the Rhino for a few years, and I don't know why I ever got into it because my memory's terrible. So
what is a memory piece?
What is a memory piece?
Well,
is that like a monologue?
I don't like memoir as a word. I don't know. It just sounds pretentious. And
I think it's pretentious of you not to like it.
That would be.
John, how did you get into being a poet, an actor, a storyteller? I first met you. You were teaching at Central Y High School about 1968.
Right.
Oh, God, remember the Central
you had
Y.
some rowdy young Southwest Side white greaser kids in your class, and somehow we linked up, and they were recruited into Rising Up Angry, and I've known you ever since.
No other kind of rowdy white guy from the Southwest Side. Greaser, rowdy.
Well, it was, like the stuff you were talking about today. It bothered me a lot then, and Central was a great place to be.
Yeah.
Just a great place to be for somebody particularly teaching who didn't know what he wanted to do when he grew up. And,
have you figured that out? What you want to do or be?
I'm still working on it.
Yay! I love it.
How do you find yourself? I know you teach at DePaul still?
Yes, I do. I teach part-time at night.
That's great. Good for you.
Is that the theater department or it's
No, it's called School for New Learning, and it's for adults who are getting a degree, and terrific place and terrific students.
Supportive.
But I do teach performing arts stuff, whether it be spoken word poetry or improvisation theater or a theater course.
Now, what's the biggest role you've ever had? Or what's your favorite role? Either one.
Both.
Or both.
Same. Richard III. Richard III.
Who's that?
You'll never know. He's a mystery character.
Was he related to the guy they just found underground in London?
Yeah, same guy.
Same guy.
Same guy. Scoliosis. Yeah.
How about that?
Do you remember a little bit from that play that you could
Oh, yeah,
lay on us?
I actually do.
Do you need to stand up to get your full...
No, I could.
No, you've got to be close to the microphone. We'll run out of time.
Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this son of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarms. Something about merry meetings, our dreadful marches. Enough.
Oh, that's good. Let's hear it.
Richard III with John Stars. John, you are such a treasure, another Chicago treasure, and I'm particularly wowed by the fact that without selling out in any form or fashion,
No one would buy.
no one would buy it.
That's true of us, Katie, too.
That's true. You have maintained your artist's mind and heart with a community feel and love. I mean, I don't know what was going on in your life when you took a job at the Heartland as a host in the late 70s, but
I don't either.
it must have been a thin time on the art front while you were supplementing your income.
This was art. This was kinetic
this was
sculpture. It was real life. It was in
true.
motion.
And I know
as it still is.
We had a couple buddies of yours on staff, which also
That's right.
helped make that happen. With
Do you remember anything that happened of unique
Yeah, do you have a
nature
story?
when you were here at the Heartland?
Well, everything was of a unique nature at the Heartland. I don't know. I do remember getting up early. That was momentous.
Unique.
I was here, I would say, very close to the beginning.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, close
We
to
opened in
76.
'76. I think you were here in '77.
Yeah, I think I was here in '76.
Really? Because Hammermeister was here in '76.
Yeah,
And Rudnick.
yeah.
And Rudnick soon thereafter.
Yeah, right. And during the Rudnick era, we organized some poetry.
Yeah.
One or two or three times we did that.
Yeah.
With David Hernandez, particularly.
Street Sounds.
Yeah. So, we did that kind of stuff, and I don't know, working here was great because
You learned to love those buckwheat pancakes.
absolutely.
Well, we were all
totally it.
eating really good.
Yes.
And we were
why we're
having a
still here.
swell time with one another.
Yeah.
The customers hopefully didn't get in the way of us having a swell time with one another.
I didn't notice if they did.
No one noticed. That's what the reviews said too. Well, luckily we
John-
still have poetry once a week here on this very stage.
Tell us a little bit more about the Rhino Fest and Bo O'Reilly and your association with all of those good folks over there. And then I wanted you to tell us about you got two performances left in the fest, so fill us in on that too.
Okay. Well, the Rhino Fest is the first and only, as far as I know, fringe festival fringe theater festival takes place in Chicago, and it was started by Bo O'Reilly, always with the help of Jenny Magnus, or sometimes Jenny would take over, and they're still together working as colleagues at this time, kind of like you guys. They just keep.
What makes
keep
it
working.
fringe? What makes something fringe? to you?
I don't know if I could tell you, but it seems like historically, there was Broadway and off-Broadway.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they called the off-Broadway here off-loop. And that mostly had to do with money.
Yeah, exactly.
But fringe was different. It had to do with money more than any of them. The lack of same. And where most, scrambled and tried to get people behind them, they would just go up and still do.
And do it.
And do it. And,
With or
if
without
if
the
it cost
funding.
any money at all. There was a wonderful play that Bo wrote, and he's written about 50 of them, Let the Dolly Do the Work. It was done about
That's a good
20
one.
years ago, and had to do with his moving experiences, and as a mover, not as moving himself, which he does a lot. And the set was empty boxes,
Sure.
a lot of empty boxes.
Wow.
And it was one of the most wonderful sets I ever saw. When you really have nothing but nothing, things appear.
That's a nice thing to say.
Sometimes.
Now, is Jenny?
very good.
Is she someone in Curious Theater branch, which is what it's called, and
Right.
they do the Rhino Fest, Curious Theater branch. Jenny Magnuson someone was related to Bertolt Brecht. Is that true, or do you know what I'm talking
not
about?
as far as I know. Her
Urban
husband's
myth.
name is Stefan Brun, and Stefan would be the closest to
Yeah, I think
to
there's-
Brecht. I think
there's
his
some
father,
connect there.
His father used to direct at the University University of Illinois Champaign, and
Anyway, I'm going to go back to your role next week in the Rhino Fest.
Oh, okay.
Where and when and what do you...
Yeah.
This Sunday and next Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday at 3 p.m., next Sunday at 3 p.m. I read stories with someone else this Sunday, tomorrow, with Scott Vigil of Prop Theater fame, and the 17th with Crooked Mouth, which is the band that Jenny and Bo put together and argue over constantly. And she plays drums as well as sings, and does all the numerous things she can do, plus some more.
And where is this performance taking place?
This is at the Prop Theater. 3502 North Elston Avenue. Elston's on the diagonal near Addison and Kedzie.
Near Addison and Kedzie, Prop Theater. So, and Rhino Fest has many, many different performances as part of it.
Yeah, you can find it online. It's Rhino Fest.
All kinds of things.
And that's spelled rhino like a rhinoceros, R-H-I-N-O, Fest.
Right, and Bo and Jenny are doing one of their Madras stories. Now see where my memory comes in here, which is ridiculous. They've been doing Madras parables for a long time, and it's really they're fantastic.
Does that refer to Madras, India?
I never know what Bo refers to,
or just the Madras shorts we all wore in the late 60s.
It's magic.
John Stars, I want to see how your memory is. A couple of people that who were in and around theater as well as other things come to mind. Warren Lemming, Del Close, maybe even Dennis Cunningham used to be around doing some theater. Tell us a little bit about people you remember and what the theater scene has been like here in Chicago over the last X amount of years.
Oh my God, you're calling upon a lot.
Yeah.
But I can go right to Warren.
We only have 5 minutes. So.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Warren is just a terrific theater artist. He's just amazing what he would come up with, and talk about Brecht. I mean, he could direct Brecht like no one I ever saw, and he's been doing it for years and years. He goes over to what was East Germany, East Berlin, before the wall came down, after the wall came down.
Right.
Whether the wall came down on him, I couldn't tell you, but it was... he's a terrific.
Well, we hope Warren Lemming is listening, and we are trying to get him on the show.
Good.
Well, also Warren does the annual Nelson Algren birthday party.
Oh, absolutely.
And keeps alive that very important part of Chicago literary history, and at the same time shines a light on folks doing good work, both artistically, politically, community-wise.
Right.
So I really appreciate Warren for that.
Oh, he's terrific.
You mentioned Del Close.
Yeah, Del Close.
What's your history with Del Close?
Del Close, he was directing Second City during the time that I was critic for the Daily Planet.
The Daily Planet.
The Daily Planet?
Yeah.
And... so I would talk to him from time to time, and he always schmoozed up the critics because Second City was dependent on getting some nice notices and stuff, and so he was a nice guy to me.
John, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Rogers Park, Edgewater.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a local boy made good.
Oh my God, I'm a local boy.
You founded the tradition.
I don't know about the made good part. And I moved from Edgewater to Rogers Park with my family. And when I was 10, I came to Rogers Park proper.
And where'd you go to school?
I went to school at St. Gertrude's Grammar School, Edgewater side. And when my folks said, "Now you got to get your ass over to Ignatius,"
you rebelled.
I rebelled. I never went. I stayed at St. Gertrude's with my friends, and then I went to Loyola, which at that time was in the neighborhood.
Right.
You know.
You mean high school?
High school, yeah.
Right.
And then to the college.
Right.
And it reminds
good
me a little
Catholic boy.
bit of John the Garbage Man, if you're talking about people in the theater. John the Garbage Man, because I'm trying to write a piece on him right now. And it's that idea of doing everything at the same time. Like he was a garbage man.
And he
was a
sharpened
sculptor.
things.
And he would find all his stuff for sculpting in the alleys while he was working, and then he'd go over to Lincoln Park and go in the recreation building and in the basement and build the sculpture and then show it in the city. So he did everything in the city. I feel like I've done everything in Rogers Park.
Wow, I didn't realize you were a Rogers Park guy too either.
Yeah.
When did you know that you wanted to be an actor, or when did you realize that you were becoming an actor?
Wow, that just seemed to come in stages and never very sure. When I was in high school, I was more sure, and I did quite a bit in high school. It was a lot of fun.
Doesn't that turn out to be the way? We were all more sure in high
so.
school. We knew everything in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still in high school.
Yeah, I do too, Michael. But
And you won't get any argument from everybody around us. Okay.
Well, we want to have a big round of applause for John Stars, and
wow.
we want to encourage everyone to go check him out at the Prop Theater at 3 o'clock this coming Sunday and the following Sunday. He's part of the Rhino Fest, and you keep up the good work. You've always been